Hello, my name is Luke Nichols and this is the My Life Outdoors YouTube channel. And no, you're not imagining things. This is NOT My YouTube channel. Some of you guys may have heard that Steven's wife was recently diagnosed with cancer. So right now Steven's got a lot on his plate, taking care of his wife and his 4 kids. Please. So I thought I might step in and do a little YouTube video for him so he can worry about one thing at a time. In the interior of Alaska, and I'm gonna be sleeping in the middle of a snowstorm. I've got about 2 hours to build a shelter and gather enough firewood to... Oh, and because this is Steven's channel, I will be doing a little bit of gear review along the way. So come along for the ride. It's gonna be a good time.
Your destination is on the left.
Man, I am getting a late start today. It's almost 2 o'clock and the sun's gonna set at 4. This snow isn't letting up. I don't know how much longer I can keep this pace. We need shelter soon. Give the ice the old stomp test. The ice on creeks is really unpredictable. Some places it'll be feet thick and other places it'll be super thin. You just kind of don't know. Oh, look at this. There's an otter right there. See him? Hey, little guy. Look at him. He's scooting on his belly right there. You can see where the water's punched up through the ice and is flowing across the top of the ice. Sketchy stuff, man. We don't want to be over there. The creek's getting really close to frozen over. You can tell right now that there's no dignified way to get down this hill. I burned up a lot of time. It's getting close to sunset. I need to really find a place to camp. It's really hard to gather materials in the dark. Oh, yeah, look at that. I like this root ball. You can see where a big birch tree just tipped over and its roots pulled up and made this wall of dirt. It's a great place to build your shelter. One, because it's a wall that I don't have to make. Another nice part is that area underneath the root ball. You know, that's bare ground. And you can look at it and see what kind of dirt it is. It's a lot of clay and rocks. And birch trees don't grow in swamps. So I know if I build a fire here, it's not gonna thaw out a swamp and turn into a mud hole. There's just tons of dead wood around here, so plenty of fuel for a fire and materials for my shelter. Well, in honor of Steven, I thought I would do a little bit of gear review while I camp. If you guys are looking for a camp saw, hands down the best one on the market is the Agawa. This is the Boreal. They're just indestructible, high quality saws. I've had this thing for years. I only need to change the saw blade about once every year or 2. There's a number of copycats out there now, but this is the original. It's the best. It's hard to emphasize how much of a time crunch I'm in right now. I've got about 2.5 hours before it's dark. So in the next 2 hours, I need to cut enough wood to build my shelter and supply my fire to keep me warm all night long. So what I do is I just gather all the wood I can, throw it in a pile near the shelter, and then if the sun goes down on me, I can sit there and work on it next to the fire instead of wandering around in the dark looking for trees I can't see. There's a lot of dead birch here. Birch trees burn a lot hotter and longer than spruce trees, so I'll need much less birch firewood than I would spruce. tree came down and knocked my glasses off. Oh, they're somewhere down here, I think. Aha! There they are. Man, they were really buried. All right, I'm gonna put them in my pocket. Well, the birch trees will make good firewood, but I need the spruce trees for my structure. I'm gonna go through and knock all the limbs off the poles. The limbs and scrap pieces go on the fire. The parts I'm gonna use to build my shelter, I lean up against the root ball, let those dry next to the fire so they're nice and warm and dry. Tell you what, guys, it's getting dark quick. I need to put some vigor in my step. I need to get a fire going. It's getting dark. It's getting colder than I expected. I have to keep the circulation going in my hands or I'll be in real trouble. The fire isn't enough yet. Once you break it open, you can see the highly flammable wax inside. Crumble this up well to maximize the surface area, then form it into a smalt nest like this. Fire heats this large thermal mass behind me. The heat is absorbed by the ground and the earth wall, radiating back slowly, keeping us warm all night. The earth absorbs the heat, but it also radiates that warmth back out, which is key to staying warm in a survival scenario. Some people prefer the lighter pack, others swear by the heavy-duty gear. Me, I say bring what you trust. It's really up to you out here. Ah, this stuff is frozen solid. There we go.
That's really nice.
The perfect survival food. Whipped moose fat and cranberries, frozen solid. It melts in your mouth, leaving a burst of energy. To make the akutak, we use bear fat, some mashed berries, and then you whip it vigorously until it aerates. Core temperature is everything out here. A big meal like that provides the fuel we need against the elements. Yeah, that should do it. I can't keep doing this. Every morning it gets worse. I think I finally broke something out here.
Oh, this is incredible. Wow.
Much better. This is perfect. Look at the springiness here. It compresses easily, but bounces right back. That's key for keeping your back happy out here. These green bows are great insulation, and because they are green, they won't catch fire easily. See? Perfectly safe. That much snow, the bedding is going to be soaked by morning. All right, let's get this silver bullet tarp out and get some heat reflection going. The jinners. This massive root ball acts as our primary heat reflector, capturing all the warmth. And crucially, I absolutely love this pack. Look at this build quality. It's lightweight, incredibly tough, and handles everything I throw at it out here. They really focused on the stress points. This seam is bomber. And the feel of this fabric by the fire, it's just something else. Once the pot is secure in the fire, the snow will start melting immediately, giving us much needed drinking water. Look at what we have tonight. We've got a beautiful moose steak right here, some freshly dug potatoes and garlic, and a jar of I packed this pork fat with herbs to maximize the flavor and nutrients. We'll get this rendered down for a high-calorie meal. The rendered fat, infused with herbs, provides the essential fuel for a cold night. That smells absolutely incredible. This herb-infused fat is going to make the stew amazing. By rendering the fat and mixing it with dried berries and meat, you get a high-calorie survival ration that lasts. All right, next we need the flour for the bannock.
All right, once the water is in, seal it up tight and start kneading. Get all that flour hydrated.
Har hombre kibble. Hit up blue and them are wits.
These are essential for morale. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper goes a long way when you're eating survival rations. The best way to store your spices on the trail is right here. Give it a good shake, pop it in the pouch, and you're ready for anything. This is the seasoned steel pan I was telling you about. Listen to that ring. I'll flip it over so you can see the other side. This is exactly what I needed out here. Absolutely incredible. 10 out of 10. For the next few nights, I'm thinking we do a big stew, maybe some smoked fish after that. That is good. These are the boots you want out here. Solid construction, warm, and completely waterproof. Listen to that. These are incredibly warm, even in deep snow. The toe cap here, as you can see, is reinforced for durability, which is essential out here. The fire! Get the snow, quickly!
Not enough to thrive. He'll soon need to find a better spot along the shore.
Where the water runs deeper. And holds bigger fish.
His needs are simple: food from the lake and a reliable fire to cook it on. The raft provides both.
You always make on fresh water.
Which he travels to a nearby waterfall to collect.
Three weeks have passed after resting.
And with some strength regained, he decides it's time to relocate the raft,
Seeking a place that can sustain him in the months ahead.
The new area is rich in resources.
with both timber and bamboo nearby.
He strengthens the raft and builds a proper shelter. And his home must be ready to withstand it. As he works, he's not just building for survival, but continuing a legacy.
For centuries, communities in Southeast Asia have thrived in floating villages.
Mastering the art of bamboo construction. To create and tour lives afloat.
Back in the forest. Sections cut from a large hollow log. Will serve as perfect planters.
Born for his new garden.
he get dark soil.
A sign that it's full of rotted leaves.
Perfect natural fertilizer.
Beyond just shelter, he now cultivates life. Planting peppers, ferns, and a banana tree.
The first seeds of a truly self-sustaining floating home.
As life begins to grow, the need for a place to cook.
He starts to build a covered kitchen.
Sealing every gap carefully.
Look at you. Good job. Let's go.
He leaves civilization.
One man, 1 year, and one impossible goal.
Build a self-sufficient floating village in the middle of a remote lake.
What improvised engineering remake his world?
He built floating rice fields where the crops rise and fall with the water level.
He sets up animal traps, then turns the catch into a growing farm across land and water. He faces a wild beehive, risking stings for honey and wax.
From zero. No supply lines. Just skill versus seasons.
This isn't just survival. It's design under pressure.
By year's end, a village shall rise, or the lake will claim it all.
In this isolated wilderness,
by year's end, a village shall rise. Or, in the rainforest, survival begins with the bare essentials.
The first challenge, transforming nature's raw materials into a foundation for life.
Bamboo is a sturdy material, floats well, and will be the foundation for the floating house.
the first shore is too steep and rocky for construction.
Building on water is a vital defense. As the rainy season nears, animals like python snakes seek dry refuges.
It also makes the work easier throughout the construction process.
Back at the build, a framework of timber begins to rise. His plan is to elevate the main structure to protect it from damp conditions.
To create a solid floor, a notable technique is implemented. Create a flat, durable floor surface.
With the floating foundation set, he begins hand carving the timber for the shelter.
The square holes are called mortises, which fit perfectly with the corresponding tenons.
This method creates an incredibly strong, rigid frame.
He has no workshop, no power tools. Everything is being built with just a knife, a saw, and a little hammer.
After the main wooden roof structure is in place, a grid of bamboo lath is laid. From the same bamboo resource, he engineers a lever crane. What would have taken hours of backbreaking work is reduced to manageable lifts. For the roof itself, overlapping shingles are key. Each layer directs water downwards.
Inside, small logs form a raised wooden floor, providing a dry and elevated sleeping area.
It's time to extend the main platform.
This extra space is very important. It provides stability for the raft and a large area to expand the floating world.
Here he plans to build a kitchen, a small garden to grow his food.
And a pond to keep the fish he will be catching.
Good boy. We'll be warm in here tonight.
whispers call the day. Dust and dew, they cling and stay. The road ahead won't wash away. Step by step, the rhythm sweet, the earth beneath, it marks the beat. The world may turn, but I'll keep walking, I'll keep the heat. Shadows stretch and fold their hands, a shifting dance across the land. The crow it calls, the hills reply. The world's alive beneath the sky. Every stomp a voice, a plea, echoes deep in memory. Step by step, the rhythm sweet, the earth beneath, it marks the beat. The world may turn, the clouds may weep, but I'll keep. The fire's low, but it still keeps on burning. Ashes dance where the stories we told. Under the evening sky, stars are turning. I feel the warmth, though the night's growing cold. Under the evening sky, we're alive. We're alive. The rain taps gently on the glass. A melody from the overcast. Each drop unknown, a whisper tune in the quiet glow of my dim-lit room.
The sky whispers soft, a golden hue. Shadows retreat, the world feels new. Cello hums. the brave, their names echo in the holes they pave. The drum beats faster, the heart ignites. We are the fury, we are the fight. Thunder of the north, it calls, rise with the storm, tear down the walls. Thunder of the north, it roars, we fight, we bleed, for glory shores. Through the fire, through the frost, we are the storm, we are the north. Thunder of the north, it fades, it takes our legend life, it never decays. Teeth grind dirt, break skin. Shadows stretch, the war begins. Iron jaws bite back the sand. Hollow streets, no voices speak. Fingers clutch the cold concrete. Hope is ash beneath our feet. Is it over or just begun? Who survives when there's no sun? Iron teeth, they're closing in. Chew the world and spit the skin. No escape, no place to hide. Feel the burn as worlds collide. Static hums machines away.